The ocean stretches endlessly beneath the moon's tender gaze, its waves a slow, rhythmic pulse, a heartbeat of the world. The water, dark as ink and smooth as glass, shimmers faintly in the soft light of the night. In this vast, silent expanse, there are no borders, no boundaries, just an endless horizon where sea meets sky, and everything is swallowed by the dark. Yet beneath the surface, in the quiet depths where time seems to hold its breath, there lies a secret, a city long forgotten by the world above, its name now lost, its stories scattered like dust in the wind. It is said that once, this city rose from the earth like a dream, a place of stone and star-marked temples, of bustling markets and sacred halls. It was a place of power, where the stars themselves seemed to guide its rulers, where the winds whispered ancient knowledge, and where the people worshipped both the sky above and the deep, mysterious waters below. The city, though, was not destined for eternal life. Some voices say it was claimed by the gods, who grew jealous of its glory. Others whisper that a great catastrophe, some force beyond human understanding, caused the city to vanish into the sea. But in truth, no one knows. The waves have carried its name far from the reach of memory. Only the moonlight remains to light the path toward its secret resting place, deep beneath the waves. And so, we wander along the edge of the earth, where the waters meet the sky, and listen to the salt-laden air, the sighing of the wind, the gentle lap of water against ancient stone. The forgotten echoes of this sunken world whisper to us from the depths, calling us to remember what has been lost. Beneath the surface, where the light of the moon can no longer reach, the city slumbers. It is a place lost in time, encased in silence, its stones covered by centuries of shifting tides and forgotten dreams. What once stood as a mighty empire now lies in ruin, its buildings crumbled into the depths, where only the most daring of divers have ever glimpsed the faint outlines of its broken walls. Yet, even now, in the deepest shadows of the sea, the city lives. It is not dead. It merely sleeps, its secrets buried in the sand, its memory whispered in the language of the tides. Some believe that the city was swallowed by the sea in an act of divine retribution. Perhaps the gods grew jealous of the city's power, its beauty, its reach. Perhaps the winds and the waves themselves were summoned by unseen hands to bring an end to the people who lived there, to bury their glory beneath the depths. But others, those who speak in hushed tones, as if afraid of being heard, suggest that the city did not simply fall into the sea. No, they say, it slipped away, fading from memory like a fading star, pulled into the heart of the earth by some mysterious force, some cosmic event that no human mind can comprehend. What happened to the city? Was it a great disaster, a flood so powerful that even the stones could not withstand it? Or was it something more subtle, more insidious, an erosion of the very fabric of reality, a quiet slipping through the cracks of time itself? Some suggest that the city was never meant to be found, that its purpose was never to be remembered. Perhaps it was always a place that existed only for a moment, a fleeting dream in the history of the world, meant to be lost as quietly as it was born. And yet, the stones remember. Even now, buried beneath layers of sand and salt water, they hold the memories of what once was. If one listens closely, they can hear the faintest echoes of voices, of laughter and song, of rituals performed in moonlit temples, of prayers whispered to the gods who once walked the earth and the waters. The stones, though covered in coral and seaweed, still carry the imprint of those who walked upon them, their footsteps a faint imprint in the eternal rock. The memory of the city is etched in every grain of sand, every ripple of the tide, and as the waves crash gently against the shore, it seems as though the city's story has not been lost at all, but has simply slipped into a deep and sacred slumber. We move along the horizon, where the sky and the sea meet, listening to the lullaby of forgotten history. The moon rises higher, casting its pale light across the water. The sea glows softly beneath its gaze, as if reflecting 1,000 untold stories, each one waiting to be uncovered. The waves carry with them fragments of the city's memory, pieces of its soul, fragments of sacred artifacts long forgotten, pieces of its once vibrant culture, now scattered across the sea floor. In the deep, where no human eyes can see. The city is held in suspended animation. Perhaps it is a place that never truly left the world, but has only been hidden from view, waiting for the right moment to emerge once again. What if the sea itself holds the secret to its return? What if, in time, the city will rise from the depths, as quietly and mysteriously as it disappeared? Perhaps it was never meant to be lost, only hidden for a time, waiting for the day when the world is ready to rediscover it. But for now, the city sleeps, its name forgotten, its history lost to the endless tides of time. We are left to wonder, was it truly lost, or was it merely hidden away, like a sacred relic, waiting for the right moment to be found again? Perhaps it was never meant to be found at all, but exists only in the echoes of the waves, in the silent whispers of the sea. The water knows the truth, but it will not tell us, not yet. As we drift along the edge of the world, listening to the waves, the final reflection lingers in the air, soft as the breath of the night. Was the city lost, or did it simply slip through the cracks of time into a sacred, eternal silence? In the stillness, beneath the soft gaze of the moon, we are left with this question forever unanswered, like the tide itself. And in that silence, we fall into the deep, where history and memory, like the sea, ebb and flow, forever waiting to be remembered. Somewhere far beyond the reach of modern maps, where the sea seems to melt into the horizon and the winds whisper their forgotten names, there lies an island, a place wrapped in mist, untouched by time, and shrouded in mystery. This island, veiled in the soft embrace of fog, is no ordinary land. It is a sacred, ancient place, long hidden from the world, known only to the sea and the stars. On its shores, rising from the earth itself, stand sentinels' monolithic statues, their faces weathered and worn, carved from the very stone of the island. These stone guardians, silent and steadfast, have stood for centuries, their forms battered by the salt-laden winds and the eternal tides, yet they remain unyielding, still watching, still waiting. No one knows who built them, or why. There are no records, no stories passed down through generations, no maps that speak of these towering figures. The island itself seems to guard its secret with a sacred silence, as if to reveal too much would be to disturb the delicate balance of its forgotten history. The statues stand in solemn vigil, their features fading under the weight of time. Their eyes, though worn by centuries of wind and rain, still seem to gaze far across the endless ocean, as if looking for something, or perhaps waiting for a return that may never come. Who carved them, and why did they leave their mark on this forgotten shore? It is said that the island was once home to a great civilization, one whose name has been lost to the ages. Whispers tell us that these statues were more than mere decorations. They were guardians, protectors of sacred knowledge and ancient truths. Some believe that the civilization that once thrived here was blessed by the gods, chosen to guard a secret so powerful, so profound, that it could alter the course of history itself. The guardians were placed here to stand watch, their silent faces carved in stone, marking the passage of time and the eternity of their duty. The wind rustles the leaves of the trees, the only sound in the heavy, salt-scented air. We walk the moonlit shores of the island, stepping carefully around the stone guardians, their towering forms looming over us. Each statue is different, some are humanoid, others more abstract, their features worn smooth by the relentless touch of the elements. Their hands, once mighty and proud, are now mere stumps, and their eyes, though hollowed and empty, seem to carry the weight of 1,000 unspoken stories. As we walk among them, it is as if we are moving through time itself, each step echoing in the quiet night, each moment drawing us closer to the mystery that lies hidden beneath the stone. The tide ebbs and flows around our feet, as the ocean whispers its secrets. It is said that the island's history is tied to the stars, that the civilization that built the statues once looked to the heavens for guidance. The guardians, some believe, were not just protectors of earthly secrets, but watchful sentinels of a celestial truth. Perhaps they were placed here to mark a journey that stretched not just across the island, but into the distant stars themselves. It is said that the people who once lived here believed they were destined for a great journey, a journey beyond the earth, beyond the ocean, to a far-off star. What was this journey? Was it an exodus? A pilgrimage to a distant world? Or perhaps a quest for knowledge lost to the ages? As we walk deeper into the island's mist, the statues grow more imposing, their forms rising like ancient trees from the earth. The moonlight bathes them in a soft, silvery glow, casting long, twisted shadows across the ground. The island seems to hold its breath, as if awaiting some unseen force to awaken, to stir the stillness of this forgotten place. In the distance, we hear the faintest whisper of the wind, a sound that seems to carry the voices of those long gone, their prayers, their songs, their wisdom carried across time and space. It is said that the island itself is alive, its very stones imbued with the sacred knowledge of those who once walked here. Some believe that, if one listens closely enough, the wind will speak, revealing the ancient truths hidden beneath the stone, telling of the gods and the stars, of a time long forgotten, and a place that may never be known again. We pause before one of the statues, its features half hidden in shadow. There is a certain stillness to it, as if it has been waiting for us, as if it has known our footsteps would one day return to this place. Its eyes, though cracked and weathered, seem to hold something ancient and vast, a knowing that stretches beyond time. The air around it is heavy with silence, the weight of centuries pressing down, as though the very act of standing before it calls forth the memory of those who placed it here. Was this once a god, a king, or something else entirely? Perhaps it was a being, a force, that transcended both time and space, a guide between worlds, between the earthly and the divine. The guardians seem to speak, not with words, but with their very presence, their silent watch over the island. As the tide rises once more, we feel the pull of the sea, its cool fingers brushing against our feet, urging us to listen, to understand the mysteries that lie beneath the water. The statues, silent and unyielding, stand in their places, unshaken by the shifting tides, unmoved by the passing centuries. They are steadfast, their forms enduring, as though they are waiting for something to stir the world once again. But what is it they await? Some say they are waiting for the return of the people who built them, for the arrival of those who will unlock the ancient secrets of the island. Others believe they are waiting for the stars themselves to realign, for the moment when the forgotten knowledge will rise once more from the depths of time. The island seems to breathe, its pulse slow and steady, its ancient rhythm undisturbed by the march of time. The stone guardians, though silent, hold the memory of something vast and profound, a memory of gods long forgotten, of a civilization lost to the waves. Perhaps it was never meant to be remembered, or perhaps it is simply waiting, buried in the quiet depths of history, until the world is ready to listen. We stand in the shadow of the statues, the tide lapping gently at the shore, the moonlight flickering across the sea. The island, its secrets and stories whispered by the wind, calls to us not with words, but with a deep, unspoken truth that resonates in the stillness of the night. The guardians stand, unwavering, their faces turned toward the sea, waiting for something or perhaps for someone who will never return. Or perhaps they are simply waiting for us, the quiet travelers of time, to hear their silent song. And so, as the mist begins to thicken and the island sinks once more into its dream, we are left with only the whispers of the past, the silence of the guardians, and the distant echo of a journey that stretches far beyond the reaches of the earth. Perhaps the island was never meant to be found. Perhaps it is a place that exists only in the memory of the stars, waiting for the moment when the world is ready to remember. But for now, we stand beneath the moon's soft gaze, listening to the sacred silence that surrounds us, and wondering if the stone guardians will ever tell us their secrets. Secrets buried deep in the heart of the island, hidden beneath the watchful eyes of the ancient sentinels who have stood here for so long. Deep in the heart of a valley, far from the reach of any map, where the wind whispers through the trees like an ancient song, there stands a temple. It is not made of stone, but of silver, a metal that gleams softly in the muted light, its surface glowing faintly like the distant stars that watch over the earth. The valley is shrouded in mist, the kind that clings to the earth like a secret, wrapping the temple in a veil of silence. The air here is still, as if time itself has paused, holding its breath, waiting for something, perhaps for someone to come and understand the sacred place that has been hidden for so long. This temple, once a place of worship, now stands empty, its chambers quiet and untouched by the hands of men. The silver walls, though tarnished by centuries of neglect, still shimmer faintly in the dim light, their surface catching the glow of the moon as if it were alive, pulsing softly with an energy that speaks of an ancient power. The temple, though silent, seems to hum with a memory, as if it remembers the prayers and rituals that once filled its halls. But now, those prayers have faded into the air, leaving only the echoes of the past to wander through the empty chambers. It is said that the temple was built for a purpose greater than simple worship. Whispers tell us that it was not just a house for the gods, but a sanctuary for something far more profound, an ancient knowledge, hidden away from the eyes of the world. Some believe it was meant to guard the wisdom of the stars, or perhaps to protect a secret that could change the very course of the world. But what that secret might be, no one knows. It remains veiled, lost in the shadows of the temple's silent halls. The valley itself is a place forgotten by time, a place where the world's noise cannot reach, and the weight of history lies heavy in the air. The trees that surround the temple are tall and ancient, their trunks gnarled and twisted, their branches reaching out as though to protect the silver structure from the world outside. The temple is a sanctuary, but not just for the knowledge it holds. It is a sanctuary for silence, a place where the breath of the earth and the whisper of the wind are the only voices that remain. As we step closer, the temple reveals its full form. It rises from the valley floor like a forgotten dream, its silver surface catching the first rays of the setting sun, casting long shadows across the ground. The temple's shape is unlike any we have seen before. Its arches curve like the wings of a bird in flight. Its pillars are tall and slender, reaching toward the sky, as if they long to touch the stars. The silver walls are etched with symbols, strange and intricate, some worn by time, others still sharp and clear. These symbols, what do they mean? Are they the key to unlocking the temple's secret, or are they merely the echoes of a long-lost language, a language that no longer speaks to the living? We approach the temple's entrance, the stone steps worn smooth by centuries of use, and step inside. The air is cool, carrying with it the faint scent of silver and dust. It is as if the temple has been waiting for us, its silence a kind of invitation. The walls within are not just smooth, they seem to ripple, as though the silver itself is alive, breathing in the stillness. The space inside is vast, stretching far beyond what the eye can see, yet it is dim, the light from the outside barely filtering through the arched openings. There is no grand altar, no statues of gods to greet us. Instead, there is only the emptiness, an emptiness that feels as though it has existed for eternity, untouched by the hands of men. We move deeper into the temple, each step echoing softly, a sound that reverberates through the empty halls, as if the walls themselves are listening. The deeper we go, the more we feel the presence of the temple itself, as though it is not just a structure of stone and metal, but something that exists beyond the physical world, something alive, waiting, watching. The air seems to thicken with each step, as though the temple's ancient power is beginning to awaken, gently, like the stirring of a long-dormant dream. The walls are etched with intricate symbols, spirals, stars, celestial patterns that seem to pulse with a quiet rhythm. They glow faintly in the dim light, as if the silver itself carries the memory of the temple's original purpose. Was it a place of worship, a place to honor the gods, or was it a place where the very fabric of the universe was touched? A sacred space designed to unlock the mysteries of the stars themselves? Perhaps the temple was built to protect something so sacred, so profound, that it could not be understood by those who lived in the world outside. Perhaps it was meant to guard the knowledge of a divine order, a truth that could change the course of the world, if only it were ever revealed. As we move through the temple's silent halls, we find a large chamber, its floor covered in dust, the remnants of some ancient ritual long forgotten. In the center of the room stands a pedestal, its surface worn and smoothed by time, as though it has been touched by countless hands. Upon the pedestal lies a book bound in silver, its cover etched with the same symbols that adorn the walls. The book, though old, still holds an air of mystery, as though it has never been opened, as though it holds the secret to the temple's true purpose. We approach the book slowly, reverently, our fingers grazing its surface. It is said that the book holds the key to the temple's mystery, that within its pages lies the knowledge of the stars, the forgotten wisdom of an ancient civilization. Some believe that if we were to open it, the secrets of the temple would be revealed, the knowledge that has been hidden for so long, waiting for the right moment to be unlocked. But something in the air around us tells us that we are not yet ready. The temple, it seems, is not yet ready to reveal its secrets. As we step back from the pedestal, the chamber grows still once more, the silence wrapping around us like a cloak. We look around at the silver walls, at the intricate symbols that pulse with an ancient energy, and we wonder, was the temple ever meant to be found? Was it always waiting, hidden in the heart of the valley, for those who would listen to its quiet call? Perhaps it was never meant to be discovered by those who walk in the world outside. Perhaps it is only for those who seek the silence of the earth, the hum of the stars, and the deep mysteries that lie hidden beneath the surface of reality. We turn to leave the temple, but as we walk back through the empty halls, the silver walls seem to shimmer just a little brighter, as if the temple is alive, waiting for the right moment to speak. We step back into the valley, the soft glow of the moon casting long shadows across the ground. The air here is still, the silence deep and sacred, and we realize that the temple has not given up its secret. It has merely shown us a glimpse, a quiet invitation, a whisper of something ancient, something profound. And so, we leave the temple, its silver walls fading into the mist, its secrets still veiled in silence. Perhaps they were never meant to be found, or perhaps the temple waits, patient and eternal, for those who are ready to listen. In the stillness of the valley, beneath the watchful gaze of the stars, we are left to wonder, what does the temple guard? And what does it mean to seek the mysteries that lie beyond the world we know? Some secrets, it seems, are never meant to be revealed, only felt, only carried in the silence between breaths, forever waiting, forever hidden, like the stars above. Beneath the world we know, hidden from the sun and the breath of the wind, there exists a place, a kingdom of stone, forgotten and veiled in silence. It is not a kingdom of riches, nor of rulers who built their palaces to the heavens, but a kingdom of stillness. The halls of this place are long and winding, stretching deep into the earth, far beyond the reach of daylight. In the dark, bathed in the faintest glow, this realm lives on its chambers, filled not with treasures, but with the ancient whispers of those who once walked here, a people whose names are lost to the sands of time. It is said that the kingdom was born from the very bones of the earth, carved by hands long faded from memory. Some believe it was a civilization that fell into the earth, fleeing the wrath of gods who sought to punish them for some forgotten sin. But others, those who speak in quiet tones, as though afraid of disturbing the stillness, whisper that the kingdom was never meant to fall. They say it was a retreat, a peaceful exodus, not from the gods, but from the chaos of the world above, a quiet sanctuary sought in the silence of the deep, away from the noise of humanity, from the clamor of war and loss. Here, in the heart of the earth, they hoped to find peace. The entrance to this sacred place is not grand, not adorned with golden gates or grand arches, but is a simple passageway, carved from the very rock of the earth itself. The stones around it are worn smooth by centuries of unseen passage, the air inside cool and thick with dust. As we step forward, the world we know, the world of sun and sky, fades behind us. The sounds of the surface world grow faint, muffled by the soft earth that envelops us. With each step, the silence deepens. We are no longer in a world of time, but in a place where time seems to slip away, where the past and future blur into an eternal present. The further we descend, the more the air shifts, as if the very walls of the earth are holding their breath, waiting for something. We walk through narrow tunnels, the stone walls pressing close, their surface cold and smooth beneath our touch. The faint glow that illuminates the path is not from any lantern or torch, but seems to rise from the earth itself, an otherworldly light, soft and gentle, like the last breath of a dying star. The light is not harsh, but it carries with it the weight of ages, as though each step we take is a step deeper into the forgotten heart of the world. Somewhere in the distance, We hear the faintest echo, distant, soft, and reverberating through the stone. Is it the sound of our footsteps, or is it something else? A whisper, perhaps, a voice that lingers in the deep? The deeper we move into the hollow kingdom, the heavier the silence becomes, as though the very air is charged with the presence of something ancient, something that has been waiting here for a time beyond reckoning. The silence is not an absence, but a presence in itself, alive, watching, waiting. The chambers we pass through are vast, vast beyond comprehension. The stone walls stretch high above us, and the floor beneath our feet feels endless, as if we are walking through a vast cavern, the ceiling lost in shadow. There are no windows here, no skylights to bring in the outside world, no way to measure time but for the soft glow of the earth's light and the distant echoes that seem to follow us. The kingdom is alive, though no living thing stirs here. The air feels ancient, thick with the weight of 1,000 years of forgotten history. Somewhere ahead, a large chamber opens up, its walls lined with strange carvings, symbols, spirals, and celestial patterns, worn into the stone by time's unyielding touch. What were these markings meant to convey? Are they the remnants of an ancient language, or the dreams of a people who sought to map the stars, even beneath the earth? Perhaps they are prayers, offerings to gods long forgotten, or perhaps they are simply memories of a time when the world was different before the fall, before the retreat into the deep. In the stillness of the chamber, the symbols seem to pulse with a quiet energy, as if they are alive, waiting for someone to understand them. We wander further, our steps slow and measured, as though the very act of walking here is a form of reverence, a gesture of respect to a kingdom that has stood still, unchanged, for so long. The chambers grow wider, their shape becoming more intricate, more deliberate. The walls here are not smooth, but carved with delicate patterns, fragments of stories, glimpses of a culture that once thrived in the deep. They speak not in words, but in images, of stars, of spirals, of symbols that twist and turn, like the very passageways through which we walk. And yet, despite the beauty, there is a sense of abandonment here. The kingdom feels empty, not in the way an abandoned house feels, but in a way that is profoundly still. There are no remnants of daily life, no tools, no furniture, no artifacts left behind. It is as if the people who once called this place home simply vanished, leaving no trace but the stone walls they carved. Were they forced to leave? Or did they simply choose to disappear, retreating deeper into the earth to escape the world above, leaving the kingdom behind, as silent as the grave? As we continue to move through the hollow kingdom, we feel the weight of its mystery pressing in upon us. Who built these halls, and why? Were they seeking refuge from the gods, or were they trying to escape something more terrible, something far darker than the mere tumult of the world above? Some say they were seeking peace, a sanctuary carved from the earth itself, a place where time could stand still, where the weight of the world's sorrows would not follow. But others wonder, did the kingdom itself hold the answer to the world's great mysteries? Was it a place of knowledge, a sanctuary of wisdom, kept safe in the deep? The deeper we go, the more we feel the presence of the earth around us, the pulse of the stone, the quiet hum of the kingdom's heart. There are no answers here, only more questions. The silence grows heavier, wrapping around us like a cloak, pulling us deeper into the folds of the kingdom's forgotten secrets. The walls seem to close in, not in a threatening way, but with the gentle embrace of something that has been waiting, patient and eternal, for the right moment to reveal its truth. But perhaps that moment will never come. As we stand in the center of the hollow kingdom, the silence so thick it is almost tangible, we are left with one thought. Perhaps this kingdom was never meant to be found. Perhaps it was always a place that existed only in the shadows of the earth, a sacred space hidden from the world above, waiting for those who would understand its stillness, its quiet beauty, its ancient truth. And so, as we begin our ascent back to the surface, the echoes of the kingdom's mystery still lingering in the air, we are left with the feeling that some questions are not meant to be answered, some mysteries not meant to be solved. For now, the hollow kingdom remains a place of silence, a place where memory fades, where the earth holds its breath, and where the kingdom of stone waits, still and eternal, for those who might one day hear its secrets. In a place untouched by time, where the shadows of the past linger like soft whispers, there lies a forest, an ancient grove, where trees stand as silent sentinels, their roots digging deep into the earth, holding secrets older than the stars themselves. The trees here are not simply plants, but living witnesses to the slow, patient march of millennia. Their bark is scarred with the marks of ages, their branches twisted by the winds of forgotten storms, their leaves rustling with stories no human ear has heard for centuries. And yet, if you listen closely, in the stillness of the evening, you may hear it a soft, ethereal melody, drifting through the leaves like a lullaby sung by the forest itself. This is no song of creatures or birds, but of the land itself, a lullaby woven from the breath of the earth and the memory of all who have walked beneath its canopy. It is said that the forest was born in the early days of the world, when the earth was still young and the sky seemed endless. Some believe it was the first place where the gods walked, a sacred grove where the rhythm of time itself could be heard in the wind. Whispers tell us that the trees were once guardians, ancient beings chosen to protect a wisdom so old it has long since faded from human memory. The forest, they say, holds the echoes of that wisdom, whispers that drift like the breath of the earth, waiting for the right moment to be heard. As we enter the forest, the air around us seems to change. It is cool, yet thick with the scent of moss and earth, the fragrance of age and time. The light here is soft, filtering through the canopy in golden shafts that seem to catch the dust of centuries, scattering it like tiny motes of forgotten dreams. The trees tower above us, their trunks gnarled and twisted with age, their leaves a deep green that seems to shimmer in the quiet light. There is something sacred in this place, something both serene and solemn, as though the forest itself is a living temple, a place where every leaf, every stone, every root has been touched by the hands of the ancients. We walk carefully, our steps slow and reverent, as if the very act of moving through this sacred grove is an offering. The ground beneath our feet is soft, the earth rich with the weight of centuries. Each step seems to echo with the past. Each leaf beneath our feet, each root we brush against, each stone we touch carries the memory of all that has come before. It is as if the forest itself remembers us, as though it knows who we are, where we come from, and the questions we carry in our hearts. The trees breathe in unison, their branches swaying gently to a rhythm only they understand. They are alive, not just in the sense of being living things, but in a deeper, older way. They are part of the very fabric of time. The song of the forest drifts softly around us, like a melody that is both familiar and strange. It is not a song composed by any bird or creature, but one woven into the very air, a lullaby sung by the earth itself. The sound is faint, like the distant murmur of a river flowing through a forgotten valley, or the gentle rustle of leaves stirred by a breeze that no one can feel. It is a song of memory, of time past and forgotten, a song that carries with it the weight of all the moments that have unfolded in this sacred place. Perhaps it was never meant to be heard, this song of the forest, this lullaby of time. Perhaps it was a melody so ancient, so deeply woven into the fabric of the earth, that over the ages it has become part of the silence. Perhaps the forest, in its wisdom, has long since learned to hold its secrets close. It is not for us to know all the answers, not for us to uncover every truth hidden beneath the canopy. The trees have witnessed the rise and fall of empires, the birth and death of countless lives, and yet they remain silent. The forest is patient. It does not rush to reveal its mysteries. Instead, it invites us to listen, to feel, to sense the rhythm of its timeless song. We wander deeper into the heart of the forest, the path winding like the coils of a serpent, twisting and turning through the towering trees. With each step, the song grows clearer, its notes vibrating through the air, like the memory of a long-lost melody that we have almost forgotten. The wind, though barely a breath, seems to carry the weight of centuries, and the leaves rustle in a language that is not ours, a language that speaks of old secrets and ancient truths. What do the trees know? What do the shadows of the forest hold within them? The deeper we go, the more the world above seems to fade. The sounds of distant birds, the rustling of the leaves in the outside world, grow faint, replaced by the steady hum of the forest's song. It is as though we have entered a realm beyond time, a place where the past and future dissolve into a single, endless moment. The trees, in their silent majesty, hold us in their embrace, and for the first time, we understand what it means to be truly still. There is no rush here, no hurry. The forest moves at its own pace, its own rhythm. In the center of the grove, there is a clearing. The ground here is soft and green, and the trees form a perfect circle, their trunks reaching high into the sky, as though they are joining hands, creating a sacred space. The air in the clearing feels thick with the presence of something ancient, something waiting. It is here, in the heart of the forest, that we feel the weight of its deepest secret. Perhaps it is a secret of the earth, a truth held in the heart of the trees themselves, a wisdom that has been passed down through the ages, hidden in the rustling of leaves and the murmur of the wind. We sit in the clearing, the soft earth cool beneath us, and listen. The lullaby of the forest swells around us, gentle and soothing, like the sound of a mother's voice. It is a lullaby of memory, of time forgotten, of life and death and rebirth. It is a song that has been sung since the first tree was planted, a song that has echoed through the centuries, waiting for those who are ready to hear it. Perhaps the forest is not trying to reveal its secrets to us, but to remind us that some things are meant to be felt, not understood. Some truths are not meant to be grasped with the mind, but to be absorbed through the heart. The trees do not speak in words. They speak in silence, in the rhythm of the earth, in the dance of the leaves. The lullaby of the forest is not meant to be heard with the ears, but with the soul. As we rise to leave the clearing, the song of the forest fades, but it does not disappear. It lingers, softly, in the air, in the rustling of the leaves, in the breath of the trees. It is a song we carry with us, a song that will echo in our hearts long after we have left the sacred grove behind. Perhaps we will never fully understand the secrets of this ancient forest. Perhaps it was never meant for us to know all the answers. But as we step out of the shadows of the trees and back into the world above, we are left with one truth. Some voices only echo when we are ready to listen. And the forest, timeless, patient, and wise, will continue to sing its lullaby, a song that can only be heard by those who are willing to pause, to listen, and to feel the weight of the world in every breath, in every whisper of the wind. Perhaps, in the quiet of the night, the forest will reveal its oldest story, the one that has been sung for so long, we no longer hear it. Beneath the infinite expanse of a forgotten desert, where the sun casts its relentless gaze, and the winds weave their silent whispers across endless sands, there stands a temple. Time, it seems, has bent itself around this place slowly, quietly, until it has become something else entirely. Here, in this sacred and remote corner of the world, time does not march forward. It lingers, folding upon itself, like the layers of dust and stone that have settled within the temple's walls. In this place, the passage of centuries is hardly felt, and the breath of the earth holds a secret one that only those willing to seek it will find. It is said that this temple was built in the earliest days, long before the maps of men, long before kingdoms rose and fell in the dance of history. Whispers tell us that it was once a place of great reverence, a shrine dedicated not to the gods of the heavens, but to a force deeper, older than time itself, a force that existed in the space between breaths, in the quiet moments when the world seemed to stop, and all that remained was the pulse of the earth and the hum of forgotten knowledge. Some believe that this temple was a place to commune with the unseen forces that shaped the world, forces that lived not in the stars, but within the very stones and sands beneath our feet. As the sun sinks low, casting its golden light across the barren landscape, the temple reveals itself from the shifting haze of heat and dust. It rises from the earth like a long-forgotten dream, its stone walls weathered by centuries of sun and wind. Time has carved its mark into the temple's surface, eroding the once crisp edges, leaving behind only the soft, worn outlines of ancient carving symbols, whose meanings have long since slipped from human understanding. The temple is not a grand structure, but one of subtle power, its beauty hidden beneath layers of age and silence. We step carefully toward the temple, our footsteps muffled by the sands that surround us. The air is still, heavy with the scent of dry earth and the weight of centuries. The door to the temple stands ajar, as though it has been waiting for us, for those who would seek the truths it guards. We cross the threshold, entering a space where the light seems to bend, where shadows linger longer than they should. The air inside is cool, a welcome respite from the scorching desert outside, but it carries with it a strange weight, as though the very walls are holding their breath. The temple is empty, save for a single relic, a mirror, standing in the center of the room, framed in ancient bronze. Its surface is smooth, polished to a gleam that catches the fading light of the setting sun. It is not large, but it commands the room, drawing all attention to its quiet, silvered face. The mirror does not reflect the world around it, no dust-covered walls, no worn stone floor, no desert skies beyond the open door. Instead, it reflects something else entirely, something that cannot be touched, something that exists in the depths of the soul itself. As we approach, the mirror's surface shimmers, not with light, but with something deeper, something that cannot be seen, but can only be felt. The reflection is not of the world as we know it, but of the world we carry inside of us. It is said that this mirror has seen countless travelers over the centuries, each one coming to seek something, an answer, a lost memory, a forgotten love, or perhaps a glimpse of the future. But the mirror does not give answers. No, it does not show us what we want to see. It shows only what is hidden in the depths of our being, the quiet truths we carry, the shadows we have yet to face. We stand before it, unsure whether to look into its depths, unsure of what it will reveal. The silence between us and the mirror thickens, wrapping us in a quiet embrace, until it becomes heavy, too heavy to ignore. What is it we seek, we wonder? What is it that calls us to this temple, to this relic of forgotten times? The mirror offers no answers, but it offers something else, something much more personal, much more elusive. It offers us only ourselves. The room seems to grow colder, or perhaps it is only the stillness that makes us feel this way. The edges of the mirror blur, and we find ourselves gazing into it, drawn in by an invisible force. At first, we see only our reflection, the face of the one who stands before it, the shadows of our own existence. But then, something begins to shift. The reflection changes, as though the mirror is peeling back the layers of time and memory, offering glimpses of moments long past, of fragments of the soul that we may not have known we carried. Memories flicker half-formed, like dreams that refuse to be remembered. Some say that the mirror reflects the truth of the soul, not the surface. It shows us the things we have long forgotten or buried, the regrets, the joys, the moments we have locked away in the corners of our hearts. Others believe that the mirror shows us not just who we are, but who we could be, who we are destined to become. It is said that the mirror does not lie, but it does not give answers either. It shows us only the truth we are ready to see, the one that we have carried within us all along, hidden beneath layers of silence, beneath the weight of our own dreams and fears. We stand before the mirror, and the air seems to shift, as though the temple itself is holding its breath, waiting for something to happen. But nothing does. There are no sudden revelations, no flash of understanding. There is only the reflection, the quiet hum of time moving through the air, the slow turning of the earth beneath our feet. Perhaps the answers we seek are not meant to be found, not in the way we expect. Perhaps the mirror's purpose is not to show us something external, but to reveal what has always been within us, hidden, waiting for the moment when we are ready to see it. The silence of the temple grows, deeper now, as though time itself is stretching and folding around us, holding us in a moment, suspended between breaths. The mirror reflects only what we bring to it, what we carry in our hearts. It does not judge us. It does not offer solutions. It only shows us the truth of our own souls, naked and untouched by the world outside. And then, as the last light of the setting sun slips away, the mirror becomes still again. The room grows dark, save for the faint glimmer of moonlight that filters through the open door. We step back, leaving the mirror behind, unsure of what we have seen, or whether we have seen anything at all. But something has shifted, something has been touched. The mirror has shown us a reflection that is not just of who we are, but of who we could become. Perhaps this temple was never meant to give answers. Perhaps its purpose is not to answer the questions we carry, but to help us discover the ones we are ready to ask. Some say the mirror holds the answers to all of life's mysteries. But perhaps the true mystery is not in the mirror at all. Perhaps it lies in the reflection. It offers something deeper, something more intimate, something we can only uncover when we are ready to look. And so, we leave the temple, its silence wrapping around us like the dust of ages, and the mirror, still and waiting in the darkness. What secrets it holds, what truths it may yet reveal, are known only to the one who dares to look within. The answer, perhaps, is not in the looking, but in the reflection we carry with us, in the silence between the breaths of the earth and the quiet hum of time. Perhaps the temple, the mirror, was never meant to be found. Perhaps it is only there for those who are ready to look, to listen, to uncover the mysteries that have always been hidden beneath the surface of their own souls. In the quiet stillness of the night, when the world holds its breath between the fading light of day and the deep silence of the stars, there lies a path long forgotten by most, yet marked by the celestial dance of the moon. This is a path not carved by the hand of man alone, but by the passage of centuries, shaped by the feet of those who once walked here in reverence, drawn by a purpose beyond simple pilgrimage. It winds through the hills, soft and winding, disappearing into the distance, only to reappear in the pale glow of the moonlight, as if the earth itself were reluctant to let go of this sacred way. Some believe that this path, now veiled in shadow, was once walked by ancient pilgrims, a people whose names have long faded from history, but whose footsteps are still etched in the fabric of the land. Their journey was one of great significance, a sacred pilgrimage to a shrine hidden deep within the mountains, a place where the veil between worlds was said to be thinnest. The shrine itself is lost, swallowed by the earth, its stones taken by time. But the path remains, a quiet testament to a journey long past, its memory lingering in the air like the scent of ancient incense. As we stand at the beginning of the path, the wind whispers through the hills, soft and haunting. The air is cool, carrying with it a faint, almost imperceptible fragrance like incense, like the smoke of offerings made long ago. The moon hangs above us, its light casting long shadows across the land, turning the earth beneath our feet into something sacred, something timeless. Each step we take seems to echo not just through space, but through time itself. The path is no longer simply a way forward. It is a journey into the past, a journey of remembrance and quiet reverence. It is said that the pilgrims who once walked this path did so not out of mere devotion, but in search of something deeper, an enlightenment that could only be found at the end of the long journey. Some say they sought communion with the divine, a connection to a power older than the world itself. Others whisper that the shrine they traveled to was a place where the answers to the universe were hidden, a place of wisdom that could only be revealed to those who were worthy. What truths lay hidden in the shrine? What sacred knowledge did the pilgrims hope to uncover in that distant temple? No one can say for certain. The shrine, like the pilgrims, is lost to the mists of time, but the path remains, a quiet reminder that their journey was one of great meaning, though it may never be understood. As we begin to walk the path, the moon above seems to guide us, casting its silvery light across the stones and earth beneath our feet. The world around us is still, save for the occasional rustle of the wind through the trees. The hills rise gently on either side, their outlines soft in the dim light. We walk in silence, our steps soft and reverent, as if the very earth beneath us is alive with memory, vibrating with the energy of those who once walked here in search of something sacred. With each step, the path seems to stretch on forever. It winds through the hills in graceful, undulating arcs, as though it were not just a physical road, but a journey through time itself, a road that takes us not only through the landscape, but through the quiet corners of forgotten history. The air is thick with the weight of centuries, with the breath of those who once traveled here in search of enlightenment. The path itself seems to hold something, though we cannot yet name it. Is it the essence of those pilgrims, still lingering in the ground, in the stones beneath our feet? Or is it something deeper, something hidden in the silence of the night, something that calls to us from just beyond the veil? The ground beneath us hums with an ancient energy, a vibration that stirs the dust beneath our feet and fills the air with a quiet sense of reverence. We feel the pull of the path, a magnetic force drawing us forward, not in haste, but in slow, deliberate steps, as if the journey itself were a ritual, a sacred act of moving through time. The path seems not just to be in front of us, but within us, as though the journey is one not only through the world, but through our own souls. Each step, each breath, brings us closer to something we cannot see, but feel in the quiet rhythm of the world around us. It is as if the path is not simply leading us somewhere, but transforming us along the way. The moonlight dances on the surface of the path, casting faint, ethereal shadows on the ground, where the stones of the ancient road are worn smooth by centuries of passage. The path is old, its stones cracked and weathered, but still firm beneath our feet. Some of the stones are covered in moss, their edges blurred by time, while others rise proud and tall, standing like silent sentinels to the past. It is a road that has been walked by countless souls, and yet it feels as though it has only just begun. The path holds its secrets close, and we, as travelers on this journey, are invited to listen, to feel, to remember. In the distance, the hills rise higher, their peaks shrouded in a mist that clings to the earth like the breath of the ancient world. The path begins to climb more steeply, winding its way upward toward the hidden shrine that once stood at its end. The further we travel, the more the air grows thick with silence, as though the world itself is holding its breath, waiting for something, or someone, to arrive. There is a deep peace here, a stillness that is both comforting and unsettling. It is as though time itself has slowed, as if the very act of walking this path is a form of meditation, a quiet communion with the past. The path now feels like a thread that connects us not only to the pilgrims who once traveled here, but to something older, something eternal. The wind whispers through the trees, carrying with it the faintest echoes of those who came before us, the sound of footsteps, the rustle of robes, the murmur of prayers, spoken in a language long forgotten. The sounds are faint, almost imperceptible, but they are there, woven into the fabric of the earth, into the air we breathe. We are not alone on this path. We are walking with the ghosts of those who came before us, and perhaps, in some way, we are walking with ourselves, with the long-forgotten parts of our own souls that have been waiting for this journey. The path stretches onward, ever upward, as the moon climbs higher in the sky, its light brighter now, illuminating the way forward. There is no end in sight, no final destination, only the journey itself, an endless procession through time, through memory, through silence. We realize, as we walk, that the path is not a way to a shrine, but a way into the heart of something much greater, a way into the soul of the earth itself, into the heart of the mysteries that lie beneath the surface of the world. Perhaps the shrine was never meant to be found. Perhaps it was always a symbol, a reminder that the search for truth, for enlightenment, is not a destination, but a journey that takes us through the hills, through the night, and into the very heart of the world. The moonlight that lights our way is not a guide to a place, but to a deeper understanding, to a knowing that lies just beyond our reach, hidden in the silence between breaths. As the path fades into the distance, we are left with only the echo of footsteps our own, and the footsteps of those who walked before us. Perhaps, in the end, it is not the destination that matters, but the journey itself. And perhaps, like the pilgrims of old, we too must walk this path not to reach a place, but to reach something deeper within ourselves, something that lies waiting, beneath the silence, beneath the dust, beneath the moon, beneath the vast canopy of stars, where the horizon melts into an endless sea of sand. The desert speaks in a language older than memory. The night air is cool, crisp with the breath of the earth, and the soft sand beneath our feet stretches endlessly, whispering secrets carried by the wind. It is a quiet place, a place where the rhythm of the world is forgotten, where time slips away like the grains of sand that are lost to the wind. The silence here is profound, yet it is not empty. Beneath the silence, something stirs an ancient pulse, a rhythm that runs deeper than the stars themselves. The desert holds its secrets well. Some believe that deep within the dunes lies a temple, a place of great power, forgotten by all but the stars. This temple, it is said, was once a place of unimaginable wisdom, a sacred space where the veil between the celestial and the earthly was thinnest. The temple's stones were said to glow with the light of the stars themselves, imbued with the energy of the heavens. But now, all that remains is the shifting sand and the quiet hum of the earth. The temple, once radiant with life and light, is buried beneath the sands, waiting for those who can look beyond the veil of starlight to find its way. Whispers tell us that only those who are called by the stars themselves will find the path to the temple. For the desert does not reveal its secrets to just anyone. It is said that the stars above us, those ancient, distant lights, are the true guides. Their flickering glow a map to those who know how to read it. But the stars are not always clear. Their light, soft and distant, flickers and shifts in the sky, like the memory of something forgotten. They beckon us to follow, yet they do not make the way easy. The path they illuminate is one not of clear roads or visible signs, but of quiet knowing, of trusting the ancient rhythm of the earth and the heavens. We stand still, gazing up at the stars, their light soft and scattered across the night sky, like dust from a faraway world. In the vastness of the desert, the stars seem closer, more intimate, as if they are watching us, waiting for us to begin our journey. The air around us is thick with the weight of history, the weight of all that has passed and all that has been hidden away beneath the sands. It is as though the desert itself is holding its breath, waiting for us to listen, to follow the call of the stars, and uncover the secrets that lie buried in its depths. The sand beneath our feet shifts, soft and yielding, as we take our first steps forward. Our footsteps are gentle, quiet, as if we too are a part of the desert's ancient rhythm. Each step seems to carry us deeper into the night, deeper into the mystery of the place. The stars above us flicker, their light soft, casting long, shifting shadows across the dunes. The night grows more profound, the silence more complete, as if the world around us is holding its breath, as if we are walking not just through the desert, but through time itself. It is said that the desert holds not only the secrets of the past, but also the memory of those who once sought this temple. The pilgrims who traveled through this vast, barren land in search of the sacred shrine left behind no markers, no signs to indicate their passage. Their footprints have long since been swept away by the wind, and their voices have faded into the sand. But their presence lingers, felt in the way the desert shifts beneath our feet, in the way the stars above us seem to whisper in a language we can almost understand. We walk in their footsteps now, following the path they once took, though the temple they sought remains hidden, its exact location known only to the stars. The desert is a place of contrast, of scorching heat by day and cold, profound stillness by night. But beneath the surface, it is a place of immense power, a place where the earth is alive with ancient energy. The wind stirs the sand, creating patterns that shift and change, as if the land itself is constantly reinterpreting its own history. The stillness around us is not an absence, it is a presence, vibrating with the energy of the earth, of the stars, of something far beyond our understanding. We move through it carefully, reverently, listening to the silence, letting it guide us as much as the stars above. The path stretches on before us, seemingly endless, winding through the dunes in graceful curves that echo the movements of the stars. Each step we take seems to carry us deeper into the mystery, and yet, no closer to the temple. The distance between us and the temple feels infinite, like a journey not of miles, but of time itself. Perhaps the temple is not so far after all, but exists in a place beyond our physical senses, in a space where the past, the present, and the future blend into a single moment of stillness. The desert, it seems, does not measure distance as we do, but measures it in ways we can't yet understand, through memory, through feeling, through the quiet pulse of the land and the stars. As we walk, the air grows cooler, and the night deepens, wrapping us in its embrace. The stars above us grow brighter, their light now filling the sky in a shimmering cascade. The wind carries the scent of earth and incense, thick and heavy, and with it comes a sense of something ancient, something waiting. The temple, though invisible to the eye, seems close now, as if it is just beyond the veil of starlight. We are being drawn toward it, not by our own will, but by something greater, something that stirs within us, something that connects us to the pilgrims of the past, to the land, to the stars themselves. The desert around us seems to fade away, its edges softening, as if we are moving through a dream. The stars above grow brighter, their light now a guide, leading us forward, step by step, each one a whisper in the vastness of the night. The temple, its stones, its wisdom, its power, remains hidden, yet we feel its presence, palpable, just beyond reach. The closer we draw, the more profound the silence becomes. The distance between us and the temple stretches, yet we sense we are no longer moving through time, but through the very heart of something eternal. Perhaps the temple was never meant to be found in the way we expect. Perhaps it is not a place of stones or pillars, but a place of memory, of connection, of understanding that lies just beyond the veil of starlight. Some say the desert is not meant to reveal its secrets, not to those who seek them, but to those who listen to the wind, to the stars, to the quiet hum of the earth beneath their feet. And so, we walk, not to find the temple, but to feel its presence, to let it unfold before us like the stars themselves. Perhaps, in the end, the path is not about the destination at all. Perhaps it is the journey, slow, steady, guided by the ancient rhythm of the earth and the heavens that holds the secret. The desert, with its silence and its vastness, does not reveal everything, but in its quiet depths, it teaches us that some things are meant to be felt, not seen. And so, we continue, our steps soft on the sand, guided by the stars, walking a path that stretches not in miles, but through time itself, forever stretching into eternity. In a forgotten corner of the world, far from the reach of civilization, there stands a gate. It is not a gate of iron or wood, rusted by the passage of time, but one of stone, ancient, solemn, and carved with symbols whose meaning has long since been lost to history. This gate is unlike any other, for it does not stand as an entryway to a city or a fortress. It stands alone, its archway rising high into the night, its presence both a mystery and a promise. The stone is worn and weathered, touched by the hands of time, yet it remains unyielding, holding within it the secrets of a world forgotten. It is said that this gate was built long ago, in a time when the earth was young, and the stars held the answers to all of life's questions. Whispers tell us that it was crafted by an ancient civilization, one whose name is lost to the winds, whose story has faded into the dust. Some say it was created as a passageway to another realm, a doorway between worlds, while others believe it marks the entrance to a forgotten kingdom, a place where time itself was bent and twisted, where the laws of nature were shaped by unknown forces. But no one knows for sure. The gate has not opened in centuries, and its secrets remain locked behind the stone, waiting for the right moment to be revealed. We stand before it now, our footsteps soft on the ground, the air cool and still around us. The night is deep, the moon casting its pale light across the land, illuminating the stone with a soft, ethereal glow. The silence here is profound, thick and heavy, as though the very air is holding its breath. There are no sounds, no rustling of leaves, no whisper of wind, only the quiet hum of the world around us, as if the gate itself is waiting for something to stir, to awaken. The gate stands as though it is a relic of some forgotten time, untouched by the hands of men for centuries. Its stone arches rise high into the dark sky, stretching toward the heavens, as if reaching for something just beyond our grasp. The carvings etched into its surface are worn smooth, but traces of their ancient designs remain, symbols that speak of forgotten gods, celestial alignments, and mysteries that time has long since concealed. What were these symbols meant to convey? What story did they tell? Perhaps it was never meant for us to understand, for the gate's purpose remains hidden, its true meaning buried beneath layers of time, waiting to be uncovered only by those who know how to listen. As we draw closer, the air around us seems to change. It is as if the very space around the gate is charged with an energy, soft and sacred, yet palpable. We pause before it, our breath slow and steady, as though aware that the gate is not just a physical structure, but a threshold one that leads to something beyond, to a realm that exists in the folds between time and memory. The stillness deepens, and we feel the weight of something ancient resting in the air, an energy that pulses gently, inviting us to step closer, to peer through the veil that separates us from whatever lies beyond. What is it that waits beyond this silent gate? Some believe it is the entrance to a forgotten kingdom, one that once flourished in the heart of the earth, now swallowed by time and the sands of the desert. The echoes of that kingdom, they say, still linger in the stones, in the air, in the very earth beneath our feet. Others whisper that the gate does not lead to a kingdom at all, but to another world, one that exists just beyond our understanding, a place where the boundaries between the physical and the spiritual are blurred. Some say it is a gateway to the stars themselves, a passage that leads to a realm of celestial knowledge, where the wisdom of the universe is hidden, waiting to be revealed to those who are worthy. We stand before it, gazing up at the stone, feeling the pull of its quiet power. The night grows deeper, and the stars above us flicker, their light soft and distant, as if beckoning us to follow. The air feels thick with the weight of history, as if the very ground beneath us holds the memories of all who have come before, those who sought the gate and never found their way through, those who whispered its name and vanished into the shadows. And still, the gate stands, silent, waiting for something, or someone, to awaken it. Perhaps the gate was never meant to be opened, at least not in the way we imagine. Perhaps it is not a doorway to a distant land, but a portal to something much deeper, something within ourselves, hidden beneath layers of time and memory. What if the gate is not meant to lead us outward but inward? What if it is a doorway to a place where we confront the forgotten parts of our own souls, where we face the truths we have buried deep within our hearts? The thought lingers in the air, as soft as the moonlight that touches the stones of the gate, and we wonder if the answers we seek are not beyond the gate at all, but within ourselves. The silence grows heavier, as if the very earth is holding its breath. The air seems to pulse around us, the energy of the gate growing more pronounced, more urgent. We feel the weight of centuries in the stillness, the quiet passage of time that has carried the gate through the ages. It has been here for longer than we can comprehend, and yet it seems as if it is just waiting for the right moment, the right soul, to unlock its secrets. The stars above shimmer in the night, their light soft and distant, as though they are watching us, waiting for us to understand. The moon casts a pale light across the gate, illuminating the stone with a silver glow, as though inviting us to step closer, to peer beyond the veil and see what lies hidden there. But we do not move. We remain still before the gate, unsure whether it is meant to be opened or simply gazed upon. The energy around us hums softly, like a distant song, as if the gate itself is alive with a quiet longing, a longing to be seen, to be understood. We wonder, in the stillness, if the gate is not meant to be opened at all, but only to be observed, to be felt in the quiet depths of the night, where the world itself seems to pause, holding its breath. Perhaps it was never meant to be found, this gate. Perhaps it is not a doorway to another world, but a marker of something deeper, something hidden beneath the surface of time. Some voices only echo when we are ready to listen, and perhaps this gate is not meant to be understood, but only to be felt, to be a reminder that some mysteries are meant to remain veiled, their answers hidden in the silence between the stars and the earth. As the night deepens, the gate stands still before us, its presence both haunting and sacred. The air around it pulses with quiet energy, and the stones seem to whisper their secrets, though we can hear nothing. And so we stand, our breath slow and steady, as the gate continues to watch, waiting for something or someone to awaken its ancient power. What waits beyond the gate, we wonder? Perhaps it is not the destination that matters, but the journey to stand before the silence, to feel the weight of the earth, to listen to the whispers that fade into the night. And so, we turn, our footsteps soft as we begin to walk away, leaving the gate behind, knowing that some mysteries are not meant to be solved. Perhaps, like the gate, they are meant to remain hidden, veiled in silence, marked by the moon, waiting for the right moment to be revealed. Far beneath the earth, hidden in the quiet shadows of forgotten realms, there exists a labyrinth of caves, untouched by the hands of time. This place is veiled from the world above, its existence known only in whispers, carried by the wind and the weight of centuries. The caves stretch far and deep, winding through the heart of the earth, where sunlight cannot reach, and the air is thick with the scent of ancient stone. Yet within these dark, silent passages, there lies a secret, a chamber filled with crystals, their light soft and ethereal, casting an otherworldly glow upon the walls. It is said that these are no ordinary stones. The crystals, though silent to the touch, shimmer with an inner light that pulses and shifts, as if they were alive. The light they cast is not constant, but flickers, dances across the jagged surfaces of the cave like the fading memory of an ancient flame. Their glow is not harsh, but soft, pale, and comforting, like the light of the moon, filling the darkness with something sacred, something timeless. As we wander deeper into the cave, the air around us grows thick with a silence that seems to hum with hidden energy. The walls, smooth with centuries of slumber, seem to whisper stories we can no longer fully comprehend. The crystals, in their silent brilliance, tell tales of an age long past, an age that has faded beneath the weight of time. Some believe that the crystals are the remnants of an ancient civilization, a people whose wisdom was far beyond our understanding. Perhaps these people knew the secret of the stars, or the power to bend time itself. Others say the crystals are not the work of men, but of the heavens, fragments of a lost star, fallen from the sky and buried in the earth, its light now a quiet memory, waiting to reveal its secrets. Whatever their origin, the crystals are a mystery, their true purpose lost to history. Some say they hold the answers to questions we have yet to ask, that their light contains knowledge from another time, answers that could change the way we understand the world. The further we walk through the caves, the deeper the glow becomes, filling the passageways with a soft, almost sacred light. We feel the pull of the crystals, guiding us as we move forward, our footsteps quiet in the dust that has settled over the centuries. The walls of the cave seem to stretch endlessly in all directions, and yet we are drawn onward, our gaze fixed on the crystals that line the passage. Each step feels as if we are moving closer to something ancient, something powerful, something that has been waiting for us to find it, as if the very earth itself is holding its breath in anticipation. As we draw nearer, the crystals become larger, their glow brighter, casting strange shadows on the walls. The light flickers, not in a regular pattern, but as if responding to some unseen force, some pulse of energy that moves through the caves like a heartbeat. We pause, drawn in by the beauty of the crystals, by the quiet hum that seems to vibrate through the very air. There is something almost alive about them, something that stirs beneath the surface, something that feels as though it is watching us, waiting for us to understand. Some say the crystals are alive, not in the way that trees or animals are, but in a way that defies comprehension. Perhaps they are the remnants of an ancient consciousness, a consciousness that once spanned across the stars and the earth, now reduced to silent stone. Perhaps they hold the memories of an age long past, the echoes of a civilization that reached too far, only to fall into the depths of the earth. As we stand before them, the glow of the crystals reflecting in our eyes, we cannot help but wonder, what did these stones once know? What did they once see? The journey through the caves deepens, and the sense of ancient power grows stronger. The crystals guide us, their light flickering softly, as we move through the labyrinth, following the winding paths carved by eons of Earth's quiet passage. We move in silence, each step taken with reverence, as if we are walking through a place of worship, one that is not meant to be understood, but felt, experienced, absorbed into the soul. The air is thick with the weight of the past, the weight of all that has been, and all that may yet be. There is no hurry, no rush. We move at the pace of the earth itself, slow and steady, as the crystals continue to guide us deeper into the heart of the cave. And then, we arrive at the chamber. It is vast, far larger than we had imagined, its walls lined with crystals that stretch to the ceiling, their glow casting the entire room in a soft, golden light. The light is not harsh, but gentle, as if the crystals are breathing, each one exhaling the memory of time itself. The air here is thick with the energy of the stones, and it is as if the very atmosphere hums with the weight of their power. We stand at the entrance of the chamber, unsure whether to step further, to approach the center where the largest crystals cluster together, their light brighter than anything we have seen before. What is it that calls to us from within the chamber? What is it that lies at the heart of the cave, hidden beneath the surface of the earth? Some say that those who approach the heart of the crystal chamber will find their greatest desire waiting for them, an answer, a vision, a secret that will unlock the mysteries of the universe. Others believe that the crystals hold no such promises, that they are not meant to give answers, but only to show us the questions we must ask, to reveal to us the mysteries that have been hidden for so long. Perhaps, like the cave itself, the answer is not found in what is revealed, but in what is left unspoken, in what is hidden beneath the surface, waiting for us to understand. The crystals do not speak in words. They do not offer us clear answers, but instead offer us a reflection of our own souls, of the mysteries that we carry within us. What are the crystals trying to tell us? Perhaps they are showing us the path forward, or perhaps they are showing us what we have already known, buried deep within our hearts. We step forward, drawn by the light, the quiet pulse of the crystals guiding us onward. The air grows heavier, as if the chamber itself is filled with the breath of the earth, with the rhythm of time itself. We reach out, our fingers brushing against the surface of one of the crystals, and in that moment, something shifts. Something deep within us stirs, as if the stone itself has awakened, as if it has shared a secret that only we are meant to hear. The glow of the crystals deepens, and for a fleeting moment, we feel the weight of eternity pressing down upon us, the weight of all that has been and all that is yet to come. Perhaps it is not the crystals that hold the answers, but the journey itself, the quiet, steady march through time and memory, through the labyrinth of the earth, where every step brings us closer to an understanding that lies just beyond our grasp. The crystals may not speak in words, but in their silence, they tell us everything we need to know. The secrets they hold are not for the mind to understand, but for the soul to feel. And as we turn to leave the chamber, the glow of the crystals fading behind us, we know that the answers we sought may not have been found in the stones themselves, but in the journey through the dark, in the quiet pull of something ancient and eternal. Some secrets, it seems, are not meant to be found, but only to be felt, in the silence between the heartbeats of the earth, at the very edge of the world, where the earth meets the sky in a quiet embrace, there stands a forgotten temple. Its stones are weathered, smoothed by time and the unyielding touch of the elements, but they hold a quiet, sacred strength. Bathed in the silver light of the moon, the temple stands as a silent sentinel, watching over the endless horizon, where the sky stretches out, vast and eternal. The temple is not grand in the way we often imagine temples. There are no towering spires or gilded halls, but its simplicity holds a profound elegance, a reminder of something deeper, something that transcends time. This temple was once a place of great significance, a meeting point for those who watched the heavens, who believed that the stars were not merely distant lights, but ancient voices, voices that carried the wisdom of the ages. The sky, they believed, was not just a canvas of distant stars, but a sacred map, written in light and shadow, guiding those who knew how to listen. For centuries, the sky watchers gathered here, beneath the open expanse of the night, their eyes turned upward, their hearts attuned to the rhythm of the universe. It is said that they could hear the whispers of the stars, that the constellations were not just patterns, but living symbols, speaking of forgotten truths and the mysteries of creation. The temple's walls are etched with constellations, their forms weathered but still recognizable. These symbols, now faded, tell stories of the sky of the stars that once aligned to mark important moments in the cycles of life, of the planets that passed in their eternal dance across the heavens. These constellations, drawn by hands long gone, were more than mere decorations. They were pathways, roads, to a deeper understanding of the world and the universe. Some say the temple itself was built to align with the stars, that its placement was not a coincidence, but a sacred act, an offering to the heavens, an invitation for the stars to speak through the stone. We stand before the entrance of the temple now, the weight of centuries pressing down on us. The air is cool, the earth beneath our feet soft with the dust of ages, and the night around us is thick with silence. The moon, high in the sky, casts a soft, silver light across the temple's weathered stones, illuminating the carvings of the constellations with a gentle glow. There is something sacred about this place, something timeless, as though the very air here hums with the memory of all who have passed through these doors. The silence is not empty. It is filled with echoes of those who once gathered here, who stood where we stand, looking to the heavens for answers. The steps leading up to the entrance are worn smooth, their edges rounded by the passage of countless footsteps. Those who walked here before us have long since faded, their names lost to the winds of time. But their presence remains, woven into the stones, into the air, into the very rhythm of the land. There is a sense that we are not alone, even in the quiet stillness of the night. The temple is alive with memory, alive with the whispers of those who came seeking the secrets of the stars. It is said that the temple was built not just as a place of worship, but as a tool for understanding, a tool for connecting with the celestial forces that shape the world. The sky watchers who gathered here were not just looking at the stars, they were listening to them. They believed that the stars spoke in a language beyond words, a language of light and shadow, of alignment and movement. They believed that the stars held the key to the rhythms of life, the cycles of birth and death, of change and renewal. Some say that the temple was a place of divination, where the future could be glimpsed in the shifting patterns of the sky, where the heavens themselves would reveal their secrets to those who were patient enough to listen. As we stand before the entrance, the silence deepens, and the weight of the temple's forgotten knowledge presses in on us. The moonlight casts long shadows across the ground, and the constellations on the walls seem to shimmer softly, as though they are not just images carved in stone, but living symbols, still echoing the rhythms of the universe. We feel the pull of something ancient here, something that reaches beyond time, beyond the fleeting moments of our lives. It is as though the temple itself is waiting for us to understand, to remember something that has been lost, buried beneath the sands of time. We step inside the temple, the air cooler now, filled with the scent of stone and dust. The interior is simple, but the space feels vast. An open chamber that stretches upward, the stone ceiling high above us, covered in more constellations, more symbols. The walls are etched with patterns, spirals that seem to stretch on forever, carrying the rhythm of the stars with them. There is no altar, no grand idol, no seat for gods. The temple itself is the sacred space, a place to connect with the heavens. It is as if the structure was built not to hold something, but to channel something, to act as a conduit for the energy of the stars, the energy of the cosmos itself. The moonlight spills through the open roof, casting beams of light across the floor, where the dust of ages lies undisturbed. In the quiet, we can almost hear the hum of the universe, the steady rhythm of the earth, the pulse of the stars. The temple seems to breathe with us, its silence deepening as the stars above us shimmer, their light soft and far away. We feel as though we have entered a place outside of time, a place where the past, present, and future blur into one. The space is sacred, but it is also infinite, a reminder that there is always more to the universe than we can understand. As we sit in the quiet of the temple, surrounded by the moonlight and the constellations, we cannot help but wonder, what did the sky once reveal to those who gathered here? What truths did they uncover in the flickering light of the stars? And why, after all these centuries, does the temple still stand, its silence undisturbed, waiting for those who can still hear the whispers of the heavens? Perhaps the answers are not meant to be found. Perhaps the temple's true purpose is not to reveal, but to invite us to listen, to remind us that the mysteries of the universe are not always meant to be solved, but to be felt, to be experienced in the stillness of the night, in the rhythm of the stars. It is said that some knowledge can only be understood in silence, in stillness, when we are fully present with the world around us, with the ancient pulse of the earth and the endless sweep of the heavens above. The temple stands, silent and eternal, its stones bathed in the soft glow of the moon. The constellations on its walls continue to shimmer, as if they are alive with the memory of those who once watched the stars and listened to their secrets. The night deepens around us, and we are left in the quiet space between the past and the present, between the earth and the sky, wondering if the stars still speak to those who know how to listen. Perhaps the answers are not so far away after all. Perhaps they are right here, in the stillness, in the sacred space of the moonlit horizon. In a distant land, Tucked away in a valley untouched by the passage of the world, there lies a garden, hidden, sacred, and ancient. Its existence is known to few, and those who speak of it do so in hushed tones, as though the very mention of the garden could disturb its delicate balance, its quiet peace. The land surrounding it is wild and untamed, where no traveller dares to tread, where the earth holds its breath, waiting for those who are drawn to it by forces unseen. Here, in this forgotten corner of the earth, the air is still, and the weight of centuries presses gently against the soul. As we approach the garden, the silence is thick, but not empty. It hums softly with the echoes of a time long past, a time before time itself became the measure of our lives. The sun hangs low in the sky, casting a soft golden light that seems to linger in the air, as if the rays themselves are drawn to this sacred place. The ground beneath our feet is cool, smooth stone, worn by the steps of those who have walked this path before, yet it is as though the stones have never aged, as though they have been preserved by something greater than time. The path through the garden is winding, and as we walk, we cannot help but feel the weight of the stone beneath our feet, each step an echo of those who have come before. Each stone is carved with intricate symbols, spirals, celestial marks, ancient runes, symbols that speak of forgotten knowledge, of an understanding that once bridged the earth and the stars. The stones seem alive with this energy, each one holding a story, a truth, a mystery that has remained hidden for eons. The garden itself is not merely a place of beauty, but a place of memory of time itself, captured and preserved, like the fading echoes of a dream. In the garden, the trees do not grow in the usual way. Their trunks are smooth, round, their bark unmarred by the passage of the seasons. It is as if they have been shaped by hands long gone, sculpted into forms that defy nature's laws. Their branches twist and curl in patterns that seem almost deliberate, as though they are reaching out to touch the very fabric of the air. The leaves shimmer softly, catching the light in a way that seems otherworldly, their colors shifting gently, as though they are caught in an eternal dance with the wind. They do not move in the breeze, but remain still, as if in meditation, as though they are attuned to a rhythm beyond our comprehension. The flowers that bloom here are not of the kind found in ordinary gardens. Their petals unfold in impossible patterns, like living geometries that have no beginning and no end. The blooms are delicate and translucent, their colors so vivid that they seem to shimmer with the light of distant stars. Each flower seems to whisper in silence, as if its very existence is an echo of a forgotten dream, a dream that once existed, but has since faded from memory. The air is thick with the scent of these flowers, a fragrance that is at once sweet and heavy, a perfume that seems to carry with it the memory of something long lost. As we walk deeper into the garden, we feel time itself slow, as though the very fabric of it has been altered by the sacredness of this place. The path beneath our feet seems to stretch longer with each step, the distance between us and the farthest corner of the garden widening. It is as if we are walking not just through the garden, but through time itself, moving through the layers of history that have gathered here. Each step we take feels more significant, more reverent, as though we are passing through a portal that connects us not only to the past, but to something eternal. Some believe that this garden was created long ago by those who understood the true nature of time, those who knew how to bend it, how to shape it to their will. Whispers tell us that the garden was a sanctuary, a place where the secrets of the universe were preserved, where time itself was kept in balance. The stones that line the paths are said to mark the cycles of the heavens, each one etched with the memory of a star, of a season, of a moment when the earth and the sky aligned in perfect harmony. Some believe that the garden itself is a living record, a chronicle of time, each stone a page in a book that holds the stories of the stars, the rhythms of the earth, and the dreams of those who once walked here. But what is the secret of this place? Why does it remain untouched, preserved in the quiet stillness of the valley? Some say that the garden was meant to be forgotten, that its purpose was never to be understood by those who walk the world of ordinary time. Perhaps it was created as a place where time could pause, where the flow of the world could be suspended for a moment, allowing those who walked its paths to see beyond the veil. The garden, in its quiet majesty, may not be a place of answers, but of questions, questions that only those who are ready to listen, ready to feel the pull of eternity, can begin to understand. As we stand still in the garden, we are drawn deeper into its rhythm. The silence here is not heavy, but sacred, as though it is holding a secret that can only be revealed in the right moment. We feel the presence of time here not as a passing thing, but as something alive, something that is woven into the very air around us, into the stones beneath our feet, into the leaves that shimmer with the light of distant stars. Time does not move in this garden as it does in the world beyond. It lingers, it pauses, it shifts in ways that we cannot fully comprehend. Perhaps it is not just the garden that has been preserved, but the very essence of time itself, captured in the stillness, waiting for those who can understand it. We feel the pull of eternity, the sense that we are walking not through a place, but through a moment, one that stretches beyond the confines of the earth and the sky. As we move through the garden, we wonder if we are walking through history, or if history itself is walking through us. The garden seems to exist outside of time, its beauty and its mystery, not bound by the rules of the world. And yet, in this stillness, in this moment of suspended time, we sense that the answers we seek may not be found in the garden, but in the very act of being here, of feeling the rhythm of the stones, of listening to the whispers of the flowers, of allowing the ancient memory of this place to seep into our souls. Perhaps the garden was never meant to be found. Perhaps it was always meant to remain hidden, a secret of the earth, waiting for those who are ready to listen, ready to feel the pulse of time in the silence of the world. Some places, it seems, are not meant to be understood, but only to be experienced, to be felt in the quiet spaces between the breaths of the earth, in the soft rhythm of the leaves and flowers, in the pull of eternity that calls to us from the depths of time. As the sun sets behind the distant hills, the garden remains quiet, timeless, waiting. The flowers, their petals closing as the night deepens, seem to whisper their final secrets in the cool evening air. And we, too, feel the weight of history of memory settling softly around us as the garden fades into the silence of the night. Perhaps it will be waiting here tomorrow. Perhaps it will remain hidden for eternity. But for now, we leave it behind, carrying with us the quiet pulse of time, of a place that exists beyond the reach of understanding, beyond the touch of memory, where the essence of eternity lingers like the fading scent of a dream. Far from the shores of the known world, where the ocean's roar is softened by a veil of mist, there stands an ancient lighthouse. Its stone structure rises from the rocks, worn and weathered, like a forgotten sentinel once a beacon to guide lost souls safely through the treacherous waters, now a silent guardian, guarding nothing but the echoes of its own forgotten history. The light that once shone from its tower, a steady guide through storms and darkness, has long since dimmed, and yet the memory of its glow lingers, like a fading dream, in the hearts of those who once sailed these waters. The wind carries whispers of its stories told in quiet voices, passed between the waves and the salt-soaked air. We stand before it now, at the base of this ancient lighthouse, the sea murmuring softly against the rocks, its rhythm slow and deliberate. The wind brushes against our skin, heavy with the scent of salt and secrets, and the mist curls around the tower like an embrace. It is said that the lighthouse was once a place of great importance, built by those who understood the ways of the sea, who knew the rhythms of the tides and the ways of the stars. Some believe that it was erected to guide ships safely through dangerous waters, waters known for their hidden reefs, for the unseen dangers that could tear even the most skilled sailor from their course. Others whisper that it was more than that, a place where sailors could find solace, a sacred space where the boundary between the known world and the world of spirits was thinnest. The lighthouse itself seems to hold its breath, as if suspended between worlds. Its stone structure, though weathered by centuries of storms and salt, stands firm, unyielding to the passage of time. The carvings on its surface, faded by age, speak of things we no longer understand, symbols of old gods, of celestial maps, of directions that no longer lead to any known destination. They speak of lost journeys and voyages that never returned. The windows, once clear and open, now stand empty, their frames filled with the weight of forgotten stories, stories that have been washed away by the tides of history. As we step closer to the base of the lighthouse, The air grows cooler, and the ocean seems to grow louder, as though it is speaking directly to us, calling us to listen. We feel its pulse, the slow rhythm of the waves, as if the ocean itself holds a secret that lies beneath the surface, buried beneath the waves, waiting for the right moment to be uncovered. The lighthouse, though silent, seems to hum with the weight of that secret. Its presence is a reminder that some things are never truly lost, some things remain, etched in memory, in the very bones of the earth, waiting for someone to remember. What happened to the lighthouse? What happened to the light that once guided sailors safely to shore? Some say that the storms that raged across these waters were too fierce, that even the brightest light could not withstand the fury of the sea. Perhaps the lighthouse was extinguished, not by time or neglect, but by a storm too terrible to comprehend, a storm that swallowed everything in its path, leaving only this monument to the past. Others believe that the lighthouse was never meant to be a mere guide for ships, that it was something more. They say it was a symbol, a connection between the earth and the stars, a place where the unknown could be glimpsed, where the veil between the living and the dead was thinnest. The lighthouse, some believe, was not just a marker for the sea, but a guardian for the shore, a protector of something deeper, something lost beneath the waves. As the night deepens, the lighthouse stands in silence, its form softened by the mist that clings to it, as if it were an apparition, a vision caught between the past and the present. The moon rises above the horizon, its light pale and distant, casting a silver glow across the rocks, across the sea, across the lighthouse. The mist shifts, and for a moment, it is as though the lighthouse is not a structure made of stone, but a living entity, its walls breathing with the rhythm of the tides, its light flickering, though unseen. The pulse of the forgotten shore grows stronger, as though it has been waiting for us to hear it, to feel it. We wonder what lies beneath, what the ocean guards so carefully, what it has claimed and buried in the deep. The wind stirs the mist, and we move forward, drawn by an invisible force, as though the lighthouse itself is calling us. It is said that some places hold the memory of those who once walked there, that they carry the essence of those who came before, lingering in the air, in the stones, in the very earth beneath our feet. The lighthouse, though abandoned, seems to carry that memory of sailors, of adventurers, of lives lived in the shadow of the sea. Perhaps it is not just the lighthouse that is lost, but those who once relied on its light, those who trusted it to guide them safely through the darkness. Perhaps it is their spirits that linger here, still searching for the safety they once sought. We reach the base of the lighthouse, and the sea, its waves soft against the shore, seems to quiet as though it, too, is listening. The air is thick with history, with memory, and with the promise of something more. What does the lighthouse still guard? What does it still protect? The question lingers in the air, unanswered, as the wind rises, carrying with it the sound of distant waves crashing against unseen rocks. The mist thickens, and we are left with the feeling that the lighthouse is not just a relic of the past, but a living testament, a marker to something that transcends time, a place where the forgotten is remembered, where the past and present meet in a quiet embrace. Perhaps the lighthouse was never meant to be understood in the way we understand things. Perhaps it is not a structure to be deciphered, but a symbol to be felt, to be experienced in the stillness of the night, in the pulse of the ocean, in the memory of those who once sailed these waters. Its light may be gone, but its presence remains, casting a shadow across the shore, across the ocean, across time itself. And as we stand before it, the questions echo in the silence of the night. What does the lighthouse still guard? And perhaps, more importantly, what does it still seek? Some voices only echo when we are ready to listen, and perhaps, like the lighthouse, we are only beginning to understand what they have been saying all along. The pulse of the forgotten shore lingers, quiet but insistent, as the mist rises higher, and the lighthouse stands, ever silent, ever waiting. And in the distance, the ocean continues its slow, rhythmic song, as if the answers, like the light, are always just beyond our reach. Beneath the earth, in the stillness of hidden realms, there are caverns bathed in the soft, distant glow of stars. These are no ordinary caves, no simple spaces hollowed out by time and water. These caverns are ancient sanctuaries, places of mystery and silence, where the very walls shimmer with an ethereal light. The stars above do not fade into darkness here. Instead, they reflect and dance upon the walls, as if the heavens themselves are mirrored in the earth, an eternal reflection of the sky's vastness brought to the depths below. It is said that this is not just a place of stone and dust, but a place where the boundary between the earthly realm and the celestial one is thin, where the stars touch the ground, as they once did in the beginning, before time and space began to stretch apart. We approach the entrance to this hidden world, the air cool and thick with the weight of forgotten history. The walls of the cavern beckon us forward, their surfaces alive with a soft, shimmering glow, casting gentle shadows in the dim light. It is as though the light is not from torches or lanterns, but from the stars themselves, glowing faintly in the dark, far beneath the surface. As we step inside, the sound of the world above falls away, replaced by an immense, sacred silence. There is no rush here, no hurry. Time itself seems to pause, suspended in the stillness. The earth around us breathes softly, as though it too has been waiting for us to enter, for us to come closer, to discover the secret it has hidden so long. The deeper we move into the caverns, the more the stars seem to draw closer, their light filling the air, folding into the stone. It is not just the soft glow of distant lights, but the pulse of something ancient, something alive with memory. The walls of the cave stretch around us, glowing faintly, as if the earth itself is alive, breathing with the rhythm of the stars. Here, light and stone are one, blending together to create a world where the heavens and earth are united in a quiet harmony. Whispers tell us that this place, these caverns, were once a sanctuary, a sacred realm, where those who sought communion with the stars could come to listen, to understand. Some say that it was built by an ancient civilization, long lost to the world, whose people understood the secrets of the heavens. They knew how to read the stars not just for guidance, but as living symbols, carrying the wisdom of the universe. The stars were not merely distant fires in the sky, but voices, calling out to those who knew how to hear them. They spoke of ancient truths, of cosmic rhythms, and of the deep, hidden forces that shape all of existence. The caverns were their place of communion, where the earth itself seemed to vibrate with the energy of the stars above. Others believe that the caverns are not merely a sanctuary, but a portal, a gateway between worlds. They say that those who enter here do not simply walk through time, but through dimensions, that the stars above, reflected on the walls, are not just a reminder of the world outside, but a doorway to something more, something beyond our comprehension. These caverns, it is said, are the threshold between the physical and the spiritual, where the veil is thinnest, where the boundaries between the living and the dead, the known and the unknown, the seen and the unseen, can all be crossed. As we wander through the caverns, we feel the pull of this hidden realm. The starlight, soft and cool, seems to guide us deeper, its glow becoming more pronounced as we move further into the heart of the earth. The walls, now covered in delicate veils of luminescence, seem to breathe with us, their light shifting gently in response to the movement of our bodies. The further we go, the more we are enveloped by the stillness, by the timelessness of this place. The air is thick with the weight of history, with the presence of those who once walked these paths, who once communed with the stars beneath this very stone. The stillness, the silence, is not empty. It is filled with memory, with knowledge waiting to be discovered. Time here is not measured by the hours, by the ticking of clocks, or the setting of the sun. In this place, time flows differently. It moves not in the way we understand, but in the way of the stars themselves, in cycles, in rhythms, in quiet patterns that weave through the fabric of the universe. The movement of the starlight becomes our guide. Each step we take, each breath we draw, seems to echo with the pulse of the cosmos, as though the stars themselves are watching, waiting, guiding us through the darkness. What is the secret of this realm? What stories do the stars wish to share with us? Some say that the caverns hold the ancient stories of the stars themselves, that the glowing stones on the walls are not merely reflections, but fragments of the celestial bodies that once shone above, now embedded in the very rock. These stones, some believe, are the remains of ancient star-fallen light, fragments of once bright constellations now woven into the earth. Each one holds a memory, a truth from the stars, from the beginning of time itself, waiting for those who are worthy to understand it. Perhaps it is not just the stars that are reflected here, but the entire universe, its history and its mysteries, locked in the quiet glow of the caverns. As we move deeper, we feel a sense of being guided not by the stone beneath our feet, but by the starlight that flickers and shifts around us, by the silent energy of the stars themselves. The caverns are alive with their presence, their rhythm, their ancient pulse. They speak not in words, but in the quiet hum that fills the air. Perhaps it is in this silence, this stillness, that the true nature of the caverns is revealed, not as a place of answers, but as a place of questions, a place where the mysteries of the cosmos can be felt, not understood. Perhaps the secret of the caverns lies not in what we find here, but in what we are meant to discover about ourselves. The deeper we go, the more the stars seem to draw us into their orbit, their quiet, eternal rhythm. It is as though we are no longer simply walking through a physical place, but moving through time itself, through the pulse of the universe, through the very fabric of existence. Each step becomes a journey not just through the cavern, but through the mysteries of life, through the stories written in the stars, through the ancient rhythms that shape the world. The cavern, like the stars, is a place of both stillness and movement, where time and space merge, where past, present, and future are one. Perhaps the stars will never fully reveal their secrets to us. Perhaps we are not meant to understand them, but to experience them, to feel their presence in the silence, in the soft glow that bathes the stone walls, in the quiet hum of the earth itself. The stars have always been with us, waiting for us to listen, to remember, to feel their eternal presence. As we reach the heart of the caverns, where the starlight is strongest, we are left suspended in wonder, caught between the worlds, between the earth and the sky, between time and timelessness, between the known and the unknown. Perhaps it was never meant to be understood, the secret of these caverns. Perhaps it is enough to simply be here, to stand in the presence of the stars, to listen to their whispers, and feel the rhythm of the universe within our own hearts. Some voices only echo when we are ready to listen, and perhaps, like the stars, the secrets of the caverns will only be revealed when we are ready to understand. For now, we leave the caverns behind, but their pulse, their rhythm, remains within us quiet and eternal, like the stars themselves. High in the mountains, where the clouds gather like the shroud of a forgotten world, there stands a monastery. Its stone walls rise like the ancient bones of the earth itself, thick with the silence of centuries. The very air here feels still, as though the mountain breathes only once every age, and time itself is not a force that presses here. It is said that this place was once a sanctuary, a hallowed ground where monks, devoted to the study of divine mysteries, sought knowledge beyond the world of the living. But now, it is a place forgotten, its once pristine halls abandoned by those who called it home. The monastery is cloaked in mist, a veil that softens the edges of its jagged stone, making it seem as if it belongs to another world, one suspended between the heavens and the earth. The wind, light as breath, stirs the clouds, but here, the mountain is untouched. It stands alone, like a forgotten shrine, carrying with it the weight of 1,000 unanswered questions. Each step we take upon the worn stone floor seems to carry the weight of time itself, as if the very space we move through echoes the past. The monks' whispered prayers, the rustle of their robes, the turning of ancient scrolls. The air is heavy with the scent of dust and age, the very scent of history. It clings to the stones, to the shelves, to the silence that surrounds us. We enter the monastery's heart, the library, a sacred chamber filled with the hushed presence of forgotten knowledge. Shelves line the walls, their surfaces heavy with scrolls and books, untouched by the hands of a reader for generations. The shelves seem to lean toward us, the very weight of the knowledge they hold pressing gently against our thoughts, inviting us to understand the mysteries hidden within these walls. But the library is not a place of study anymore. It is a monument to what has been lost, what was sought here, and why it was abandoned remains a secret hidden within the silence. What knowledge did the monks once seek? What truths did they believe could be found in these sacred texts, so carefully preserved, and yet so abandoned? Perhaps they sought wisdom that reached beyond the mortal world, to a divine understanding that could only be glimpsed in the quiet places, in the spaces between breaths and prayers. Or perhaps the monks sought something more, a deeper connection with the mysteries of the universe, a way to bridge the gap between the earth below and the heavens above. Whatever it was, it has been left behind, buried beneath the layers of dust and time, waiting for someone to understand. As we move deeper into the monastery, the silence wraps around us, thick and tangible, like the cloak of a long-forgotten god. The hallways stretch before us, their stone walls covered in the faintest of symbols etched long ago, now faint and nearly forgotten, yet still there, buried beneath the weight of time. The light is soft here, filtered through the mist outside, casting long shadows that stretch like fingers across the stone floors. Each room we enter is a step further into the past, a step further away from the world we know, as if we are being drawn into a place where time itself is held at bay. The further we wander, the more we feel the pull of the monastery's past, the echoes of those who lived here, who once believed that through study, through devotion, they could unlock the secrets of the universe. The whispers of their thoughts still linger in the air, faint but palpable, like the breath of the wind against the walls. The silence is not empty, but full of the weight of unspoken words, of prayers left unfinished, of lives lived in the pursuit of an understanding that perhaps no one was ever meant to fully grasp. The monks who lived here, it is said, were drawn to the monastery by a singular purpose, to search for a divine truth that could transcend the boundaries of the earth and the heavens. They believed that in these mountains, where the veil between worlds was thin, they could glimpse something beyond human comprehension. The library, filled with scrolls and ancient texts, was their place of devotion, their place of study. But as the years passed, and as the secrets they sought proved elusive, the monastery began to change. The monks, once vibrant in their faith, began to withdraw, drawn away from the world they had built. The library, once a beacon of enlightenment, fell silent, its shelves filled with knowledge that no one would ever read again. We walk through the monastery, drawn deeper into its silence, its mystery. The walls, once adorned with tapestries and painted with scenes of celestial events, are now bare, stripped of their color, their vibrance faded into nothingness. The stones, though worn, stand strong, like the bones of an ancient creature, quiet, resolute, waiting for something, though we are not sure what. Perhaps it is the return of the monks, those who once lived here, who sought something far beyond the world they knew, or perhaps it is simply the return of time itself, sweeping through this place like the breath of a forgotten god, breathing life into what has been buried beneath the weight of centuries. In the silence, we begin to realize something deeper. The monastery was never just a place of study. It was a sanctuary for the soul, a space where time did not move in the way we understand it. Here, time was not measured by hours or days, but by the movement of the stars above, by the shifting of the heavens, by the rhythms of the earth itself. The monks, in their devotion, were trying to listen to the universe, to feel its pulse in the very stones beneath their feet. And now, in their absence, we feel that pulse too. We feel the weight of their search, of their faith, of their desire to understand that which is beyond understanding. Perhaps the monastery's purpose was never to be understood in the way we understand things. Perhaps it was always meant to be a place where the mysteries of the universe could be felt, rather than solved. The monks may have left, but their devotion remains. Their search for truth, their quest for knowledge, has been absorbed into the very walls of this place. It is as though the monastery itself is waiting for someone to return, to continue the search, to listen once again for the whispers of the stars. The library, with its untouched scrolls, stands as a symbol of all that has been left unsaid, all that remains unspoken. It is a place of pause, a place where silence speaks louder than any words could ever do. And as we stand before it, we realize that perhaps the knowledge the monks sought was never meant to be found by human hands. Perhaps it was never meant to be written down, to be contained in books and scrolls. Perhaps the true knowledge lies not in the pages of ancient texts, but in the silence itself, in the space between each breath, each heartbeat. Some secrets are not meant to be discovered. They are meant to be felt, to be experienced in the stillness of the world, in the sacred quiet of the monastery. As we leave the library and wander back through the long-abandoned halls, we carry with us the echoes of the past, the whispers of the monks, the quiet pulse of the stars, the weight of the silence, and we are left with the sense that perhaps the monastery's purpose was never to be understood at all, but only to be felt, to remind us that some things are hidden not in the pages of books, but in the space between the moments, in the quiet places where time itself is still. Perhaps the monastery was never meant to be found. Perhaps it was meant to be felt, in the silence, in the stillness, in the echo of its past. And perhaps, like the monks, we, too, must learn to listen, not for answers, but for the questions that lie beyond them. Some voices only echo when we are ready to listen.